A very good afternoon to you, our viewers. You're welcome to Punch Sports Extra. It's another Monday and it's time for us to talk sports. Yes, we'll be giving you tidbits happening in the world of sports. My name is Shegun Odwanya. With me, my co-anchor, my co-driver on the show this beautiful Monday afternoon, Eniton Daramola. Good afternoon to you, Eniton.
Good afternoon, Shegun Odwanya. Good afternoon to the rest of the world.
All right, very quickly we go into what we have for the day. We'll be starting with Punch Sports Extra front page. Of course, you know that we do have a sports paper. For those who do not know, now you know. To the very front page, the Minister of Sports, Eno, has come out to say that it's time for us to prepare for Egypt 2027 for the All-African Games. I remember that the games ended this last weekend and we didn't do badly, the Nigerian contingent. Overall, we ended second, only losing the top spot to Egypt. Egypt have now had it on the bounce. They've won 2023. Of course, you know it's the All-African Games 2023 happened in 2024. The Ghana All-African Games 2023. They won the one before that and they won the one before that. That is 1, 2, 3, and then they are now going to be hosts in 2027. The Minister of Sport has come out to say we should start preparing for Egypt 2027. Do you think anywhere in our imagination we can go and win it against Egypt that have won 3 on the bounce at home?
Well, it's a good call and it's a good target. You understand, to say let's prepare for the 27 tournament and then to target the first position. Although we came second this time with, I think, about 120
We've been coming second for a while now.
And it's 10 shy of, the previous tournament where we had 130.
Yeah.
However, to win Egypt, you need to go beyond, the regular sports that we participate in. And, we need to go deeper, like, swimming and, other, sports that we don't participate. Because if you look at it from the first whistle, Egypt just
start swimming in goal,
and they were just raking in the goal. So it's not that we were bad, you understand, and it's not that they were, more superior, but I think they participated in some tournaments or some aspects of the game
tournaments that
exactly. So to beat Egypt next tournament, we need to participate in those, categories. However, do we have what it takes? Do we have the people? Can we prepare them without any, issue, without any the normal?
Are we not going to go to sleep and then wake up in 2026?
And when it's like maybe some minutes to go, we say, oh, we have somebody, we have this, we have that. But it's a good call. It's a good time to say, let's start preparing for for the next tournament, because that's what everybody does. Yes, that's what everybody does.
All right, very quickly, let's review our participation in Ghana 2023. It wasn't bad, really.
Yeah,
we did really well, if you look at it, except maybe for Egypt, who had more tournaments. But look at athletics. The girls and the guys came to the party. Michelle Shekiri was there. Let's not mention names because it's a team sport. But generally, let's x-ray our performance.
So I think the Nigerian athletics team, they had a fantastic...
They actually won athletics.
Yes.
11 goals.
It was like the tournament was just for Nigeria. But they had, I think it was a 4x4, mixed relay.
Yeah.
It was so amazing, so that, we were almost settling for second until, the last... Exactly.
And just surname, I don't know her new surname. I'm not used to the new surname.
We'll find out and, get that across to our
do something, but
find out and get that across to our viewers. But she
actually went to the same school.
Oh, that's amazing. I think we should get her, for the show. It will be very nice.
Yeah, I think so.
It will be very nice.
Probably next one.
Okay, very
She has always been fantastic.
And, she finished the race. It was an absolute, theater atmosphere. It was the dreams that you expect.
She was about 30 yards off.
Exactly.
It was like the other lady was coasting home.
And that's what you want from sports, from every tournament that that you participate in, and then even in life generally, you don't give up.
Never.
And she showed that relentlessness,
spirit.
And she didn't give up. It was so dogged, and
she turned silver to gold.
Exactly. I didn't expect, because naturally I was like, oh, okay, we're going to settle for second until it was almost the last lap until and. Athletics is kind of funny. When you start the race, before that final bend, it's almost as if, oh, you are last. But
and then when you complete the
bend and everybody is almost, and then you see the magic. It was magical. If you have not watched, the clips, you need to watch. It was magical. Kudos to the Nigerian team. It was magical. And then the guys too as well. I saw Tobi Amuson. She was excited.
She was celebrating so sweetly that she fell down. She
fell, and and the guys had to just turn and just had to lift her up, and it was just amazing. Yeah. It was pure joy, and it's amazing being a Nigerian. Watching our Nigerians doing exceptionally well. It was amazing. Kudos to the athletics team.
All right, it's also interesting to note that Toby Amusan, Toby Express, did her thing despite the fact that she had a false start. The 100 meters hurdles, where she is world champion at the moment. And then, of course, she just blew past the girls. I mean, she had a yellow card. Everyone was thinking, are they going to, give her a red card and tell her to get out of the tracks? But no, she just got a yellow card because of the false start. And then second time around, she came alive, came up with fire, and ended up with gold. I mean, we expected it anyway, so it wasn't really something interesting. Well, not that it wasn't interesting.
Oh, it was interesting.
It wasn't.
If you have seen the flash, you won't blame her for the false start.
Yes,
exactly.
So she started the second time. She started a little slow. She started slower than normal, but she was always going to pick up. She gave us the same.
And there is an Olympics around the corner. We don't want her injured.
No, we don't want her injured.
So she's the
and then 4 by 100. She led that team. She was the last lady. In fact, that one was like, it was an excursion. The other ladies were escorting her down. And she had seconds to celebrate and wave the baton.
I said earlier, it was pure joy. There were so many things that you get from the
then the 4 by 100 men. 4 by 100 men. I mean, that was really crazy. Alaba ran the second to the last leg. And he practically won that race for Nigeria. Handed over the baton to Shakiri, and that was the battle with the Ghanaian guy. And
the Jollof battle. We just had different Jollof battles.
I think we should also talk about wrestling. Odunayade Korore and her girls came to the party. She was crying because she won gold on Mother's Day, and she said her mother was not. She just recently lost her mother. Rest in peace to her mother recently, and she was, she was so overwhelmed that she wasn't really celebrating that gold, but she was crying because there was no mom for her to celebrate with her. And then the wrestling guys also came to the party. I think it's time for us to talk about the guys that did not come to the party. And we'll be mentioning Ladan Boso and the football team. The ladies got to the final. They lost the finals, but they got to the finals. They got a silver. Nice one for them.
Another Jollof battle.
Ladan Boso and his boys got kicked out in the first round.
I think we should have Ladan Boso here. He needs to explain. What happened. I think they started.
He said he was trying to revive the careers of 2 of those boys.
They started the tournament with a loss, if I'm not mistaken.
They lost.
They won
came back with a victory.
and then
they lost it.
And then crashed out of the tournament. But that goes to show you that there are some teams that you need to. Like they are the teams to beat. In every tournament, any Nigerian team, whether it's African or whether it's the world tournament, we are the team that everybody looks out to, to just give that swiping whenever you are
annoying. People are
exactly.
Some people just got tired
but
of
you need to cut him some slack. You understand? It's a tournament. Anything can happen. You understand?
And then he came and said he tried to revive the careers of 2 players.
Well, I think that's what he needs to explain to us, because I don't, that's not an excuse for why the entire team could not make it to the knockout stages.
Nowhere, knock what? We were knocked out. All right, a good one for everybody. I mean, there were also some guys that came from abroad. I mean, from various parts of the world to represent Nigeria.
Tennis too.
Javelin, shot put.
Yes.
Tennis, we got to the finals with those beautiful ladies, wonderful athletes. I think it was just interesting all around. It was fun. It started really slowly and people were not really interested. But as time went on, everybody was just looking at what was happening at the African Games. Everybody was kidding. It was everywhere on social media.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Very quickly, we move now to the friendly match. Of course, we know there are no EPL games. We didn't have EPL games last weekend. It was an international weekend. Nigeria up against Ghana. Cyril Dizas getting that sweet penalty.
Yeah.
The Nigeria wore that white jersey, and there's something about that white jersey. They say when we wait, you don't win, but we won with the very Ghana now.
So I don't.
2-1 ended.
You are Nigerian. I am Nigerian, so you should understand the. Should I say sentiments or it's just normal. It's just normal sometimes, and it can be weird, because when you have a series of games and you don't win, you don't win. So people will they just from nowhere it just like clicks that it was this jersey we wore, and everybody just just attach it to it and say it was the jersey. You understand?
Because win.
But it's a good win against Ghana,
Ghana,
especially
always,
for
any day, anytime.
especially for Finidi George,
Yeah,
who is
first
the
game in
standing
charge,
exactly
standing coach.
the standing coach. And we want to see him, when we face up against Mali and get
it was a
another
particularly
win.
good game for Alex Iwobi,
Oh, yeah.
who came off the Nations Cup with
Exactly.
so many Nigerian fans bullying him online.
Yep.
He had a sweet game, but one man that looks like he can't stop scoring, Ademola
Lookman.
Lookman. How about look at that beautiful goal now from when the build-up started from the back. Beautiful passes from the back. Who was it now? Was it Wilfred in the D or Frank the Tank? Somebody passed that ball long up front. Just from that right, handed it over to Alex Iwobi. One touch from Alex Iwobi to Ademola Lookman, who caught the defender inwards before striking it really hard. And then we could have ended without, giving what's his name? Giving Stanley Wabali another clean sheet.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it was our man, the boxer, part-time boxer, full-time footballer, Bright Osai Samuel, who brought down a Ghanaian in the box. And then Jordan Ayew stood up, went to it, and then put it beyond our goalkeeper.
But it was a consolation. Yeah. We can call it a consolation because it was
Thank God we have scored that second goal. I hope they have learned some lessons.
Yeah.
Because if we did not score that
would have just
assurance goal,
it
would have been 1-0.
Yes, exactly.
It would have been 1-0.
But it's a good one for Alex Iwobi. I think some people would see that Alex Iwobi is a very important player in the Super Eagles lineup.
If he's not playing pivot with Frank like we saw at the Nations Cup.
Exactly.
He was playing deep, I beg your pardon. He was playing deep with Frank Onyeka, but this time around, you could see him expressing himself.
Frank the Tank.
Yeah, Frank the Tank.
Who's not injured, by the way.
This year he's injured. He won't be part of the Mali and
the game against Mali as well as Calvin Bassey.
Contingent as well as Calvin Bassey.
Yeah.
You off camera, we were saying that some of those injuries, all these injuries you just find helter-skelter.
I'm not a physio.
Are they really injured or you just, I'm injured, let me go back to my club?
I don't have one Otumokpo somewhere that I can, and I don't see some things beyond where I am.
Natural.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Beyond where I am. So I don't know, but it's football. I will not be surprised.
We'll see him at Brentford next week.
Yes, it could be a slight knock. But however, like we were saying, we're in like the most crucial part of the season, especially in the Premier League, in all season club footballs in Europe. Yeah. And this is the time where you need your best players.
These last few games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if they will feign an injury, they will do something similar for Alex Iwobi, who is a very important player for Fulham as well. So it could be that they have slight knocks that they will need to rest and
just prepare for
exactly.
All right, still talking about friendly encounters. England, the Three Lions of England, up against the Seleção of Brazil. For me, I think that was the most interesting friendly encounter we had during the weekend. And, it was a star-studded game. Declan Rice, Vinny Jr., Jude Bellingham, Rodrigo, name them. Everybody, Paqueta, Bowen, everybody. It was an all-star game from the beginning to the end. And then no goals were coming up. Paqueta hit the bar, and then England had opportunities as well, but I think Brazil had more opportunities. And then towards the end of the game, one-on-one Vinny Jr. with the goalkeeper, this Jordan Pickford of Everton. There was a save. The ball landed at the feet of Hendrick, and the 70-year-old. What a game to announce yourself to the world. Who best to score against than against the Three Lions of England? They are journalists. We analyze your every move and analyze your every minute. 1-0 it ended. 1-0 rather. It ended in favor of Brazil. Right there in England at the Wembley Stadium. And the fans went home with some tears in their eyes.
Yes, aside from the tears that the fans went home with. So there's now a call for the sack of
Gareth Southgate.
Because
and they say Man is trying to get him.
That Man U.
I knew it was going to be
not
Man
make that
if
mistake.
Anybody was going to get Southgate, it had to be Man U.
So that's where I think Manchester United will get it wrong. However, it's just rumors, and there's no smoke without fire. You understand? But we can just still say that it's just rumors. However, a certain Sir Jim Ratcliffe, an Englishman, could make the move, but I hope he doesn't. But I know that he will likely regret it if they make that move for Gareth Southgate. I'm not casting aspersions.
Is Man in the top 4 now? No.
Not yet.
Okay, maybe. Oh, not yet.
Yes, not yet.
Not yet. Maybe when Southgate comes, you guys will be battling 17th, 16th.
Well, Who knows? But we didn't talk about Hendrick and what's his name now? Kobe Mainu, who
17 and 18-year-olds respectively.
So that's why I said earlier that the present and the future were on display at the Wembley Stadium, and it was amazing.
I agree. The guys signing out and the guys coming in.
Yeah, so I expect to see more of these young lads.
We spoke about Hendrick already. It was the start of the game.
Yes.
You are bringing somebody in. You are bringing another.
And he actually, Hendrick scored in the Wembley Stadium where his hero, a certain Sir Bobby Charlton, had played and scored. So it was just amazing for him.
Hendrick said his hero is Sir Bobby Charlton.
Yeah, he mentioned. Well, maybe he didn't use the word hero, but he mentioned especially Sir Bobby Charlton.
He must have read it on the internet.
Exactly, because some people were saying. So I saw a tweet.
Know anything about?
I saw a tweet from a guy who said he was almost 30, and he said he never watched Sir Bobby Charlton play that. But then there are clips, you know.
That's what I'm saying. So he must have checked online.
Of course, he must have.
Because,
he must have.
Yeah. All right, beautiful one there. Me, personally, anything anti. 3 Lions. I like it because
I think the Lions
England
were
naturally,
from
they only like to feel like they are that special. Not that they don't have good players, no doubt about that. Jude Bellingham, in fact, from time immemorial, they have great players. But as a team, they never really.
I think they missed out on a time that they would have, maybe gotten to the finals of the World Cup.
Yeah.
When Fabio Capello was still in charge. They looked like
even under Gareth Southgate, they were good. Euro 2020,
Euro 2020,
they practically got to that finals and they lost to Italy. Penalties.
Yes.
Yeah, so
it was anybody's game.
I mean.
But they had
even the World Cup after that, they got to the semi-finals. So England are not bad. Let's be honest. But personally, me, I just have this England.
Don't bring your personal.
They will start threatening us. 3 World War, Cameroon World Cup, England.
It's coming home.
Nothing is coming home. All right. Nigeria will be playing against Mali in another friendly encounter. Of course, this week, like we said, is still friendly this week. Yeah, Nigeria will be playing tomorrow. There are some international games as well tomorrow. England will also be playing tomorrow. Other friendly games will be coming up tomorrow. But many players have pulled out. Bruno Fernandes has gone back to Manchester. Yao Palina as well has gone back to Fulham. Our own Frank the Tank Onyeka has gone back. Calvin Bassey, lots of players have gone back. But for the French players, it will be time for them to, trying to make a case with the national teams, especially Europeans and South Americans, because after the season ends, they'll be going back to their countries for their regional competitions, the Euro and the what's it called now? Copa. What's it called? Copa America. Yeah, Copa America. But yesterday, still talking about football now, the United States of America defeated Mexico to win another gold cup back-to-back for the United States. Look at these guys. Most of their players are actually French players.
Turner, in their clubs, yeah?
Yeah, in their clubs, yeah. Turner, even the guy that scored this beautiful goal plays for Bournemouth, Tyler Adams, has not really played, started for Bournemouth in a while now. Turner doesn't start for Nottingham Forest, and a couple of other guys, perhaps maybe outside of Christian Pulisic.
Yeah, Captain America.
Even that, I don't think he starts for Milan, really.
For Milan, but he has had some.
But he's a great player.
Yes.
But somehow they found a way of beating Mexico and taking that region there by the storm. But I'm still very good to go back to Nigeria and talk about the home-based guy, Taminu, that came on. That played that encounter. Personally, I've been an advocate of bringing on the Nigerian Premier, the NPFL guys, Nigeria Premier Football League players. We have some of these guys. These guys are good. Use them. Don't just bring Nigerians from overseas to play for the country. Bring our boys too. Let our boys be a part of it. Let's have a mix. And he did well for himself. Was fantastic on the with the jersey number 5, and it was a good one. EPL is coming. The club football games will be coming up this weekend again. Which ones are we looking out for? Very quickly, let's preview them.
Yeah.
Manchester City against Arsenal. Anytime.
So Manchester City, do you want me to predict or what do you want me to do?
As an analyst, analyze.
Okay. So this is like the game of the season for Arsenal. Because Arsenal are in a 3-horse game or race for the Premier League. They are just 1 point ahead of Manchester City. They are at par with Liverpool on 64 points. However, they are ahead on goal difference.
Yes,
this is the very first time Manchester City will be trailing on goal difference when it comes to towards the tail
8 games to go
of the season.
9 games to go.
Now of the three contenders, title contenders, Liverpool, Manchester City, and Arsenal. of them three, Arsenal have the toughest games to play. They are going to play Manchester United. They are going to play Tottenham. They're going to play. I think they are playing against Manchester City, which is this weekend. And they have some games that will can test,
be tricky.
Yes, that can test their resolve. You understand? But however, I think that unlike last season, this Arsenal team, they are ruthless. And they know what they want.
Can they fight till the end?
Exactly. Now that's the question. So the very first test. So what they have done.
If they win all their games, they are champions.
Yes.
But can they win all their games?
Yes, they can.
They can beat City this weekend.
They can.
But
they need so for the very first time in since 11 games between Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta when he had gone to Arsenal, 11 games. Manchester City won maybe 7 or 8. They won 8 in 11 games, so left with 3, right? They drew 1, and Arsenal have won 2. They won the first leg this season. If they can beat Manchester City, so I was saying it. I had said it before that anybody that wants to win the Premier League, especially Arsenal, you need to beat Manchester City. They did that first, but that will not be complete if they don't repeat it again. So what they need to do now, at least a draw, but most importantly, they need a win. A draw will be like a loss for them somehow. They need a win to clinch that trophy. Once they beat City, it's just like taking drugs. I've not taken it before, but it's just like taking, something to enhance your performance, because there will be you have slayed the giant already. So what's left? You understand? Energized, yes, thank you. So you have slayed the giant already. What's left?
For Pep Guardiola, do you think he can beat Arsenal this weekend?
For Pep Guardiola, he has
rejuvenated Arsenal.
Yes, he can beat Arsenal. He can beat Arsenal. He can beat Arteta at the game. He trained Arteta. You understand? You can't give him credit for that. He has,
I guess he's his boss.
Yes, but I feel he can beat Arteta. However, if Arsenal wants any shot at this trophy at all, if they want their hand on it, they need to beat Manchester City. Because bear in mind that there are other games that could decide actually, because the likes of Tottenham will be playing the 3 of them, and then there's a Manchester United that will be playing against Liverpool and then Arsenal. And it could be pivotal, you understand? Because any loss, any draw to these teams, these are the teams that can hurt you actually. You can look at Manchester United and feel like, this club, they are struggling. But you need to be aware of some clubs like Manchester United who are struggling, but then right now they have nothing to lose, because the semi-final in the FA Cup is not. It will be tough, but it's not. They are not playing City. You understand? So their focus will be on the Premier League.
Put in the mind that Arsenal are still in the Champions League.
Exactly.
And they are playing against Bayern Munich.
Exactly. So that's where they can't pull out of the Champions League. You understand?
Of course.
And they would not want to lose against Bayern, because if they lose against Bayern and the loss is, like a drubbing or a drabbing or a mauling, it will dent or affect their performance in the Premier League. So they will need a victory for them against Manchester City. They'll go all out against Bayern Munich.
So are you predicting a win for them?
I'm not predicting a win for them.
Staying on defense.
I want a win for them, but I'm not predicting a win for them, because it's going to be very, very tricky. Like you mentioned earlier, the players that would likely decide this game this weekend will not be the likes of Foden, Haaland, or Bernardo Silva. It could not be Saka as well, you understand? But
it will be probably one defender scoring one corner kick.
Exactly. And your choice is what's his name now? The midfielder, the defensive midfielder for Manchester City. Rodri. Yes, your choice is Rodri, but I just want Arsenal to win.
All right. I like
that. And it's weird, you know why? As a Man U fan, I don't like Arsenal. But of the 3 enemies
of that man,
of the 3 enemies, I prefer Arsenal.
Your enemy's enemy, your enemy's enemy is your own friend. All right. Very quickly, we won't be leaving this place without talking about the Nigerian Premier Football League. Some interesting encounters yesterday. Remo Stars winning at home 2-0. It looked like they were not going to win that game, to be honest, because they did not score the first goal until close to 80 minutes. Over 80 minutes, and then they got the second one. Beautiful one for them. You have to be honest, beautiful encounter for them. But Plateau United lost at home.
Why you laugh?
I never would have believed that. I never would have believed that Plateau United would lose at home. I've watched games at that stadium before, countless times, and I know what it feels like when you are drawing at home at the New York Stadium. The way the fans will suddenly become hostile, and you just know this place in the next few seconds will dissolve into something else. But they lost at home. Now they considered the first goal, they scored a penalty, and then the opponents got a penalty. Now, I think kudos must be given to the organizers of the league, because if you give an opposition a penalty towards the end of the game, especially when it's going to be determined who wins that game, that referee must have some balls. And kudos to the organizers of the league, most especially the referee, for such a performance. Atlant lost at home to Rangers, 2-1. Atlant are sinking deep, and as it is going, they may just discover oil. It looks like relegation is sure, because nothing is ever sure until you get to the end. But for Rangers, now topping the league, that league is a roller coaster at the moment. A is up today, B is down tomorrow. Doma United, one-time team that went 12 games unbeaten, are now being beaten and battered seriously. They lost at home as well. But Remo Stars are still there. They have a game in hand, and if they should win that game in hand and have 27 games, they'll be topping that league a point ahead of Rangers. Ijabor, Coach Ijabor, like he's popularly known, is doing a great job with Remo Stars. Remember that last season Remo Stars got to the finals. Got to the last 6. They came to host the tournament here in Lagos, and they narrowly lost that league to Enyimba. Coach of Enyimba is now acting coach of the Super Eagles. Yeah. We don't know how much of time he will be having for Enyimba now, as he will be doing a double duty. Hopefully, the Super Eagles will settle, will become their manager on time. I heard Finidi himself is trying to become manager, and he submitted an application. So if he's going to get the job, let him get the job on full time very quickly, so that Enyimba can also move on with their life. Our managers, our producers are saying it's time for us to go. Yeah, they also are managers. Yeah, producers, managers. Okay. Our producers are saying it's time for us to leave. I'm hearing whispers here and there. Anything, your last words before we leave the studio?
My last words was Gunners. Do not bottle it this time.
Your last words, and you don't have any last words for Xabi Alonso and his men at Bayern? Well, you don't have any last words for your coach that is hustling for top 4? You don't have any last words for the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be playing? Super Eagles of Nigeria will be playing tomorrow. You don't have any, no last words. It's just anti-Guardiola last words that you have.
I didn't mention Guardiola. I just said for the Gunners, do not bottle the league. Don't bottle it this time. That's all I have to say.
Something is telling me. My own last words is that Anything's last words will not come to pass, because they will bottle the league. We'll be here. God will keep us alive. Thank you very much for watching today's edition of Punch Sports Extra. By God's grace, we'll be back here on Monday next week for another beautiful episode of your favorite sports show. My name is Shegun Odwan, a member of Anything, Daramola, and the rest of the team. Have a blessed week. Stay out of trouble. God bless you.